white people take the land. We must avenge our fallen. Kill every last one. Let's go.
Go around and take the camp from behind.
Nope, going straight in.
In 1868, representatives of the U.S. government signed a treaty at Fort Laramie, Wyoming, with the Lakota, Cheyenne, and other tribes of the Great Plains, by which a large area in South Dakota was designated the Great Sioux Reservation. The government promised to protect the Indians against the commission of all dependent people of the United States. Peace, however, was not to last. In 1874, gold was discovered in the Black Hills, the heart of the new Indian reservation. News of the strike spread quickly, and soon thousands of eager gold seekers swarmed into the region in violation of the Fort Laramie Treaty. The army tried to keep them out, but to no avail. Efforts to buy the Black Hills from the Indians, and thus avoid another confrontation, also proved unsuccessful. In growing defiance, the Lakota and Cheyenne left the reservation and resumed raids on settlements and travelers along the fringes of Indian domain. In December of 1875, the Commissioner of Indian Affairs ordered the tribes to return before January 31st, 1876, or be treated as hostiles by the military force. When the Indians did not comply, the army was called in to enforce the order. The army's campaign against the Lakota and Cheyenne called for 3 separate expeditions, one under General George Cook from Fort Fetterman in Wyoming Territory, another under Colonel John Gibbon from Fort Ellis in Montana Territory, and the third under General Alfred H. Terry from Fort Abraham Lincoln in Dakota Territory. Crook's troops were knocked out of the campaign in mid-June when they clashed with a large Lakota Cheyenne force along Rosebud Creek and were forced to withdraw. Meanwhile, Terry and Gibbon met on the Yellowstone River near the mouth of the Rosebud. Hoping to find the Indians in the Little Bighorn Valley, Terry ordered Custer and the 7th Cavalry of the Rosebud to approach the Little Bighorn from the south. Terry would accompany Gibbon's force back up the Yellowstone. Around 4 to 5 a.m., Lieutenant Colonel George Custer and his 12 companies of the 7th Cavalry approached the Wolf Mountains from the east. Custer's Crow and Arikara scouts and Lieutenant Varnum ascended to a high point now known as Crow's Nest. Crow Scouts spotted the unmistakable signs of a large Indian pony herd in the Little Bighorn Valley, some 15 miles to the west. Although Custer could not see the massive pony herd, nor the smoke of the enemy encampments, he accepted his scouts' information. Concerned that his regiments had been spotted by outriding warrior parties, and more importantly that the Sioux and Cheyenne would escape, Custer decided to attack them. Custer divided his regiment into 3 battalions. He retained 5 companies under his command and assigned 3 companies each to his immediate officers, Major Marcus A. Reno and Captain Frederick Bantine. 1 company was assigned to guard the slow-moving pack train. Bantine was ordered to scout the bluffs of the south, while Custer and Reno headed toward the Indian camp in the valley of the Little Bighorn. When near the river, Custer turned north toward the lower end of the encampment. Reno, ordered to cross the river and attack, advanced down the valley to strike the southern end of the camp. As he neared the camp, a large force of Lakota warriors rode out from the southern edge of the encampment to intercept him. Forming his men into a line of battle, Reno would soon be overwhelmed, outflanked, and forced in the timber. Eventually they cross the river and take up defensive positions on the bluffs beyond. Here he was joined by Bantine, who had hurried forward under orders from Custer to "Come on, big village. Be quick, bring packs." Reno and Bantine's commands are held down for another 2 days by the Sioux and Cheyenne warriors. On the afternoon of the 26th, to their surprise, the warriors broke off attacking. The Indians had learned that a large force of soldiers were coming down from the north. The Indian people packed up and left the valley heading south. In the meantime, Custer had written into history and legend. His movements after separating from Reno have never been determined, but vivid accounts of the battle by Indians who participated in it tell how his command was surrounded and destroyed in fierce fighting. Northern Cheyenne Chief 2 Moons recalled that the shooting was quick, pop, 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 very fast. We circled all around him, swirling like water around a stone. We shoot, we ride fast, we shoot again. Soldiers drop by rapping, clapping of his hands, and says, in a matter of minutes, it was over. In the battle, the 7th Cavalry lost 5 companies under Custer, about 210 men. Of the other companies of the regiment under Reno and Bantine, 53 men were killed and 52 wounded. The Indians lost at least 60 or more. The Sioux and Cheyenne scattered, some going north, some going south. Although the Sioux and Cheyennes won the battle that day, but subsequently they lost the war against the military's effort to end their independent nomadic way of life. Most of them returned to the reservation and surrendered in the next few years.
Alright. Still recording.
Ready?
Oh. Okay.
Oh my god.
It's really cold out here.
Weirdest
Really freaky.
Saturday night ever. And there's Cody.
If I hit you, you're gonna...
Do that again? Do it again.
No. Just for that, you get the little one.
Take the camp from behind. Oh my god. Oh my god.
After she said she walked away.
I'm like,
and
nope.
You just say, nope.
You get it, he's so brown.
Walk in from there. Okay, I'll walk in and what? Walk in and Tim, once he gets to like right about Justin's gonna like fight scene.
Yeah, you're gonna hurt some. Oh my
We don't
gosh.
have a fight scene because he's holding a tomahawk. And you have a gun. I'm cold. I'm cold. Stop my hands.
Mine are cold
It's
too.
my hands.
Dude.
And I'll be like, boom. And then. You're not supposed to fight back. You're supposed to be on the ground about to die.
I'm pretty sure you guys shouldn't be laughing.
How did that butt get tighter? Come here. Oh, I can't breathe. No homo. Come here.
You're not done. You gotta do it again.
It's hurting my side, man. It's supposed to. It won't fall now. It's cold right now. I can barely feel my hands. Okay, you're twisting.